Hi, I'm Rachel, and today I'll show you how to create realistic shading for any image using the Color Therapy app. Let's get going. What's great about using this app for shading is that you can use the lines as a guide for your painting. So when you remove the lines, it will reveal a proportioned work of art. This is a great way to learn how to draw as well. If you want to follow along, you can find the image under the Classic tab, scroll over to Florals and Trees, and under Pretty Animals, it's the first image. So I think the easiest way to get started with something like this is to first tap to fill in a solid color and then work from there. So I'll open up the color palette and make sure it's set to a basic pencil, and you want it to be solid. Under Shades, scroll over to Classic, and we're gonna choose 5 different colors. So I'll choose a cream color, I'll choose a light gray, then a medium gray, and a black. And those will be used to create the highlights and shadows on the horse. With the tap to fill mode on, you just want to start color blocking. So what I mean is just tapping to fill. I'm using the cream color for the horse, and then I'm going to use the black color just to tap to fill in the nose, the eyes, and the ears. And this is just going to be a great foundation for us to get started with our highlights and lowlights. Now, before we get started with the shadows, you have to first decide where your light source is coming from. So in this image, I'm going to pretend that my light source is the sun shining down from the top left side onto the horse. So that will inform me where to put my shadows and highlights. I also recommend using a reference photo. For example, if you pull up a photo of a white horse, it'll help give you ideas about how it actually looks in real life. So I'm going to select the lightest gray first and open up my toolbox under the advanced mode. And I want to set the brush size to 100. That's good for covering large areas and making it look smooth. And I'll leave the opacity at 50%. So we'll keep our coloring mode on so that we're coloring inside the lines. And I'm just going to basically outline all the areas where the flowers are overlapping. So it'll be a nice shadow there. And then right underneath the chin here, I'll add a shadow. It's okay if it overlaps beyond that line. And I'm just gonna follow the lines on the face. So I'll just put a very slight shadow there and here, just outlining the horse at this point. Now what we want to do is make it a lot smaller, so let's set the brush size down all the way to 0. We can leave the opacity at 50. So now I'll choose my next darkest color, which is the darker gray, and do the same thing. This time I'll be right next to that line, and then since our sun is shining down from the top left, the shadow will be on the right side of the lines. So I'm just kind of sketching. I'm doing a back and forth stroke motion, just sketching along those lines. I'm going to outline those black lines around the eyes because this is a muscular animal. Now, like I said, I looked at a reference photo to know where details would be put in real life, so I added a few lines here to make it look more muscular. Now let's go ahead and put in that pink nose. So let's select that light pink color we had, and I'm just going to outline those lines around the black area of the nose and add a little bit around beyond the nose as well. So our next darkest color will be black now. So we're going to just deepen those shadows we just did, following along those same lines. Now the horse I was looking at had little details on his nose. He had a few little spots. So those details will help make your animals look more realistic. And then to finish it up, choose a bright white color for the highlights. And I would raise the size to about 25 and leave it at 100% opacity. And I'm going to add my highlight along the length of the nose. And I'm going to zoom in to the nostril, and you need to add a little bit of highlight inside there so it's not just plain flat black. Now I finished up the rest of the image, and if you want to see how I did that, check out my time lapse. The last step is to remove the lines. So if you go to lines, take away them, and you'll see how now you have a really nice drawing. Here's the finished version of the horse. Remember, when applying this technique to other subjects, don't forget to choose a light source and follow the lines to accentuate the subject. Thanks for watching our tutorial. You can get the Color Therapy app for free on the App Store.